I haven't signed right now.
All right, it's 8:45. Good morning, everyone. We'll call this September 6th meeting of the Brown County Commission to order. Commissioner Gage, if you lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. Commissioner Sutton's got other business, so I'll be chair for the day. First order of business is approval of the agenda as distributed.
Move.
A motion by Feldheim, seconded by Gage. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item is opportunity for public comment. Anyone has any public comments they'd like to share with us this morning before we get to our agenda? Good morning.
Good morning, members of the commission. My name's Dave Meyer, here on behalf of Summit Carbon Solutions. I had a good meeting last week over to my ethanol plant. We kind of missed you guys. It was good, very informative, and so with that, if you guys have any questions at all that I may answer if I know the answers. If not, I can find the answers for you, so.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being here this morning.
You betcha. Oh, no, you can sit. Yeah, that's it.
Excuse me. Anyone else? Public comment? Next item of business is public hearing on 2023 provisional budget. It's been distributed. There'll be other opportunities for public hearing, but if there's any comments, we're not in a position to adopt anything at this point, but working through that process. Hearing none, we'll move on. Next item of business is Winterset contract. I believe that's for our entertainment for next year.
Wonder if Rachel was gonna be,
I don't know if she's gonna be here or not.
Thanks.
probably a little ahead, probably delayed just for 15 minutes or so.
Fine with me. If you're okay with that, we'll move on to other items and come back to that if Rachel comes. Fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next item is fee schedule for the treasurer's office.
I don't think I need these.
Everybody else has got a chance. Good morning.
Did you need me, or are you good?
You tell us. Thank you.
Why sales tax on, I mean, what's the deal with the sales tax? Why does the county have to pay sales tax on fees?
We charge tax on stuff we send out. I double checked with, like, the assessor's office. When they send out their copies of the same thing, when they share that, it is taxable. The Register of Deeds, like their copies, I think you specifically mentioned, somebody did, their $1 per copy per document, that's in state statute, that is not taxable, so. We did verify this was, so.
Somebody had a special exception.
Yeah.
But otherwise, do you happen to know, since we're inside city limits, does that also include cities' sales tax on top of that, I imagine?
Well, 6.5,
Yep.
it would.
Right,
Yep.
that's what we got, 6.5, and that's it on that one.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
State wants their chunk,
All the hands are out.
and they're gonna get it, yeah, except ours. All right, so,
Thank you, Patty.
Certainly.
any other questions? What did I do with my agenda?
It just seems strange to me. It seems like government shouldn't have to pay tax to another government, but I guess that's the way the cities and the state gets ahead and the county gets behind.
There it is, you guys, thank you. Oh. Thank you. All right.
Nothing like the public helping us out, right?
Yeah.
So-
Thank you, sir.
Beautiful. We need to adopt that, correct? Is that right? Yes. Okay. Any other questions? I'd entertain a motion.
Move the fee schedule for the treasurer's office.
Motion by Feldheim,
Second.
second by Gage. Not that we have any choice. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll go to the consent calendar. We'll see if Rachel comes in for the contract yet. Approval of general meeting minutes from the August 30th meeting.
Move.
Motion by Piker,
Second.
second by Feldheim. Any further discussion? in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries. Claims.
Move.
Motion by Feldman. Second by Gage. Any further discussion?
Did we, the one,
I'm gonna wait on that one.
wait on that one?
You want to hold on it, or you just
This
want
one
to
right
get
here.
aware of it?
We're gonna leave that up to you. We have it set up that we can pull it if we need to.
What happened, yeah, exactly, did she?
That's what we might find
I'm
out.
gonna wait and find out.
Do we wanna-
From Rachel.
Why don't we see if she shows up and discuss that at the same time?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Or we
that's-
should probably
Hold
call
off on that?
You want to approve it without for the moment?
Okay.
Then we throw it back in? Or we can sit on it?
I'll move the claims would hold out
Okay, thank you.
the one for Rachel.
Got a motion by Piper,
Second.
second by Gage. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All same sign, motion carries. We do not have an HR report this week, is that correct? Thank you. Leases,
Move.
motion by
Second.
Feldman, second by Piper.
I looked for it and couldn't find it.
Sorry to disappoint.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries. State reimbursement rates, let's just adopt them because they are what they are there too.
Right.
Move.
A motion by Gage,
Second.
second by Piker. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries. Any other business? Yeah, if you would. Yes, I will. See if Rachel's on her way.
Yeah, she didn't tell me she was coming in about that one.
Okay, well, I know she sent an email out, but,
Yeah.
she doesn't have dirt to blame.
Right. This is 2 weeks in a row, Dirk hasn't been here, the whole thing's up.
Right.
Neat.
Lincoln at the meeting, right?
In case, people don't know, we will not be meeting next week. We have our state convention held in Pier this year, so that's Monday afternoon, Monday morning if you're on the board or resolution committee, and Tuesday of next week for the South Dakota Association of County Commissioners, so we will not be meeting next Tuesday.
And county officials, and
Correct.
county welfare directors, and county highway superintendents.
Yep.
Whole works.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
She's on her way now.
All right. We'll hold up for a moment.
Was she coming?
No, she's getting the contract, was pretty self-explanatory, I think she needed to be here for the winter stuff.
Okay.
So. I said, you may want to come in, basically. The rest of it's not, so. She's on her way.
Okay. No other business, so we'll just give it a couple of minutes.
Oh, did you get the packet?
Yeah,
Oh.
I gave it to him.
Could we?
We have a certain steps, I don't know.
Okay.
It would probably be for the best just to do it.
Okay.
If we don't, overkill's better than not doing it.
I'm okay with that, yeah. I'm not completely sure, it's been a while.
I'm not.
It's been a year.
Yeah, I know, and I've never been in that, but I would say maybe I'll give
Okay.
you a motion second on that one, just to
All right,
be on the safe side.
we can do that. It's not final adoption, just
No,
to-
it's just that we're doing it here today.
And to acknowledge that we
Yeah.
did have an open hearing.
Yeah.
Anyone is interested, so, yes.
Out of order, but the regional jail and correctional plans will be meeting again in Pier on September 20th. And because Brown County is part of one of the regional jail possibilities, I thought you'd want to know that date in case you want to be there. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, that's it so far. Okay,
So you want a motion on the,
first hearing for the...
first hearing of the public reading of the provisional budget?
Yeah, please.
I'll move it.
Thank you. Motion by Feldheim.
Second.
Second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All same sign, motion carries. So everyone knows, as I've reminded some legislators here recently, that, you know, with the economic activity, that the receipts for most cities, especially Class A cities in the state, continue to run 6 to 10% because of inflation and extra economic activity. Counties, including us, still are running at, I believe it's 1.3% from last year's doctored up CPI number. So we're not doing very well to try and catch up, and next year we should be happy with getting 3% from this year collected next year to try and keep up with 9% inflation. So we continue to fall farther behind. And I hesitate to even have the conversation about growth.
About what?
In order to stay competitive with other communities in the state and other states, we wind up having some of that not allowed for us for an extended period of time through TIFs and discretionary formulas. So things are tough on us, but what else is new?
Get funding education off the general mill levy, off of property tax, and then we can survive. But
Enough said.
Well, Drew is still on the education committee till the end of this year, so address those things to him.
Actually,
We'll fix that.
in all respect to Drew, he done more to try to get some sales tax back to the county than anybody has down there in the last 10 years, 10, 15 years.
I voted for the things that he had.
But he came up with an idea.
Well,
Gotta
he
give him credit
ran
for
it
that.
by the D3 team.
Got your signature.
Yeah, you got our approval.
Well, it's there if you want, it's all drafted if you want to bring it back.
We should bring it back.
You can
Good
change
luck.
it if you want.
We, like I said last time, we lost a really good, person to help us out, and that was, Caleb Fink. He was really on the side of counties.
No.
And, the thing about politics are the good guys don't always win, and, he's one of the good guys, and he did not
I
win.
thought all the guys who went down there were good.
Well,
All the guys and
it's not
gals.
true.
That's what the public says.
Well, it's not
They
true.
like you. You're all good.
All of them are okay. They're all okay. Some are better than others.
They all have their strengths and weaknesses.
That's exactly
Some have axes they like to grind on.
Yeah, we're not gonna pick on anybody today.
I have a question for Carbon Solution.
Yes, sir.
If you take all the ethanol plants and you pull their carbon out, put it on the ground, has there been any kind of a study that what does it change our carbon in South Dakota and these places that all this is being pumped out? Somebody's gotta know.
They don't know.
I can't imagine it changes it a whole lot, because, you know, we're a big area with not a lot of people. I'd be interested to know how much that actually affects our carbon solution.
So at the next meeting, so I'm new to this stuff, so I guess 2 weeks from today, I will have that answer for you.
I'd be interested to know what's taking that carbon out of that area and pumping it up there and changes ours, because, you know, most people don't realize our corn, soybeans, trees, everything needs carbon to grow. And if you take the carbon out, what happens to the plants that don't have the carbon?
I just read an article the other day where Kraft Foods and Tyson, and I forget, there was another one or two that have been struggling with their processing because they don't have enough CO2. So I'm wondering, why would you want to pump it in the ground when you've got processors out there that are actually struggling to try to come up with enough CO2 to do their process? I mean, somehow it doesn't add up, and I can't hardly believe that those statements, if they're gonna be published, are false. So I'd be curious about it.
I will try and get some answers at the next county commissioners meeting for you folks.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Cool.
Yes, the 4% for the counties. Yeah, we should run that again.
Yeah, the formula based on, highway miles.
Winter fence, that's a contract in there?
Yeah, right here. No, that's
Here.
mine.
I mean,
Who's your champion?
ask for what you want.
I would go left hand, winter has to.
One time.
Generally.
He helped me out quite a bit. The formula actually was one that I
Contract.
Well, I've been launched off of works a few
I
times.
know that they
I tell you what,
So that's why
the
he-
landing isn't near as bad as the time that you get launched to the time you get ground. That's when the pain really comes.
The reality.
Oh, shit, now it's gonna happen.
Morning.
Yes.
Thanks for coming so quick.
Oh, absolutely.
So we had a couple things. First one is the contract, just, I think it's an important piece. It is pretty self-explanatory, but you might want to just review it.
We did kind of prove this when we accepted Winterfest, when you first came to us about the agreement as far as the years we were gonna pay them. It was probably the most reasonable one, is what we figured.
Yeah.
So did we not make a motion when we,
To approve it.
to approve that, just at that one time? So now we're approving again, I guess, because we
Contract,
approved it.
At the time, we didn't have the concrete contract, so I
Okay.
just wanted to make sure that everybody was clear on what was on the contract before you put your signature on it. But yes, nothing has changed from what we talked about
Okay.
back in June.
It's just on paper now.
So, there was a bill for Romeo, was that to
They
close
were,
up?
yeah, they're servicing us through this last fair.
Yeah.
So now theirs is done and we'll move forward with
Okay.
Winterset, yep.
Yep. So, just as a reminder, we had a competitive bid process, and I think we had, what, 3 submissions?
Yes, yep.
Yeah,
Pepper
so
Entertainment, Winterset, and Romeo.
after evaluation, it was determined that this one's gonna provide the best value going forward for a 3-year.
And they're the ones
Right.
who do the state, the South Dakota
They
State.
used to, now Romeo does dates.
Oh, really?
Competitive business.
That's right.
So, sorry, but we just wanted to.
No, no, I'm glad you asked.
This is an important component of what we're doing, so appreciate you coming, so. Any other questions?
Was there a voucher you had a question on too?
I'll, move to approve the Winterfest Winterset contract. It's easy for me to say.
Yeah. Motion by Feldheim, second by Fikert. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Both same sign, motion carries. There was a question about that. Do you want to address that now quick?
Absolutely.
Just to clarify
So,
that.
so one of the vouchers in there, in our playbook, we go through everything rodeo related and we check the boxes to make sure everything is done. One thing that was not in there, and I did not have a voucher for, was the payouts. If you remember, we did bigger payouts this year for the winners of the Dakota Bank Stampede Rodeo. Come Tuesday night, it was a surprise to me. They were like, "Where's your check for $22,500?" It had not been through commission, although it had been talked about, but we did not get the voucher through in time. So I called my father-in-law and I just wrote the check right out of our farm account, and I called Commissioner Sutton and asked him. I said, "This is something that got overlooked. It wasn't in the playbook. I didn't see the voucher, so we didn't send it through. Is this okay to do? I need the money now." And he said, "Yeah, go ahead." And so that is a reimbursement to the farm account that I wrote that check out of, because it was 10 o'clock PM on Tuesday night. I had overlooked it, completely my fault. It just wasn't in the playbook, and I didn't even think about it, so.
They weren't gonna load up and leave.
Oh, no, they weren't gonna, no. And you have all those winners that wanted their $2,500 added money, which if you remember,
Yep.
we had increased that this year, so.
Yep. You make a promise, you better pay it. So,
That's right.
No, it just.
So no, that was totally my bad, and that's where that comes from. And
No
you'll
doubt.
see the attached check that was written and cleared from that bank account and where we're reimbursing it.
Yep, and the details.
Our concern was that all those bills were published in the paper.
Oh, yeah, yep.
And if somebody asks us that, we've got a
Yep.
good explanation.
Yeah, for a year later, what was this for?
Yeah, exactly. So I apologize, that was totally my bad, I totally spaced it. and
When you pay them,
got it
then
done.
are they expected to get cash, or do you write them a check, a separate check, or are they?
I write the check to the PRCA,
Oh,
and then they
they do
divvy
it,
it out
okay,
to
they
the
do
winners,
the
yeah.
distribution.
But it has to be paid that night on the conclusion of the competition.
I understand that, I just was wondering to make sure the transfer, somebody would come back and say, how do we know they got the money, is where I
Right.
was going with that. just to
Yep,
make sure
yep,
to
it
clear
goes
you.
straight to the PRCA, and they do what, and
Their
that's why that's
responsibility.
who you'll see the check was made to.
Okay.
Good, so that's what we expected, but we just wanted to make sure that it's on
Nope,
the
and-
record, so everybody's clear about it.
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, so, that was it.
All right, well, I know if you need something else. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Rachel.
Yeah, okay.
So do we want to amend the motion to include this then in what the,
I think we can.
okay.
I'll amend it, go ahead, I'll amend the motion, I'll make a motion to amend the claims to include the bill that we have questions on.
Thank
I'll
you.
second it.
Motion and second, further discussion. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Yeah. Both same side, motion carries. Other than that, we're done. Motion by Gabe, second by Feldheim. Say aye. Both same sign, motion carries. We'll be back after, brief session. Thank you all for coming today. Thank you. Okay, we are out of exec, no action taken. Anything else to come before the board? We'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Fikert, second by Gage. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are gone. Thanks very much.
Thank you.